When we go against the grain of how we are supposed to live, we're not just going to feel bad, it's more than that. We will feel physical effects almost as if we are sick. No haircut, no look, no thing that you do makes you who you are. The type of trauma that made us feel unworthy as a child is the type of trauma that will show up as an adult, as us feeling like we can't show up as ourselves or something bad will happen. You weren't designed to be somebody that you are not. You need to talk about authenticity. The reason I'm so passionate about helping people with this specific topic is because I know firsthand from myself and from seeing in other people the effects of inauthenticity, the effects it can have on your life. Now, of course, we're just going to assume when we live inauthentically, we're going to feel bad. It's so much more than that. You see, we were designed to live in the way we were designed. We were designed to live with the personality that we have, with the traits that we have. When we go against the grain of how we are supposed to live, we're not just going to feel bad, it's more than that. We will feel physical effects almost as if we are sick. We will assume that we are introverted, but we were actually just so fatigued after every social interaction because of how much strain your body is being put through to act like somebody you're not. You don't actually enjoy social interactions very often, maybe with one or two people in your life because those are the only people you're authentic with. But when inauthenticity goes to the extreme, it does show up like this. It can show up as brain fog when you're in social interactions. It can show up as fatigue. It is the reason for so many people's depression, the reason why they feel like they can't get out of bed in the morning. Why do we experience inauthenticity? Why do we experience it to the extreme? Why do we experience it sometimes to the point where we feel like we have no option but to be our fake self than our real self? Well, of course, we know trauma. The type of trauma that made us feel unworthy as a child is the type of trauma that will show up as an adult, as us feeling like we can't show up as ourselves or something bad will happen, or we will get punished again by the parent, or we will get bullied again in school. And it will have our egos develop a really strong sensitivity to shame and a really heightened feeling of low self-worth consistently. And when we have really strong shame and really low self-worth, of course we will show up in a way in the world trying to please others and not be yourself. I've mentioned before in my video of inauthenticity about the effects it has. I think I go more into detail about that, but I also mentioned that being inauthentic is like holding a mask. And anytime we are holding something, I want you to imagine physically holding something in your hand. Is it easier to hold onto an object or to put it down? Which one is easier? Now, is it easier to hold a heavy object you've been carrying for your entire life? Your arm is tired, your hand is tired, or is it easier to put it down? It's always easier to put it down. We have this misconception that because we have been inauthentic our entire life and because we've experienced the negative consequences when we try to be authentic, that it's harder to be authentic. But the reality is, holding something is always harder than letting it go. The hard part is giving yourself the permission to drop the object, to drop your inauthenticity. You see, life feels free when we're authentic. Life feels lighter when we're authentic. Everything feels more in flow. Everything feels more aligned when we're being authentic. But giving yourself the permission to be that is what you have to do in order to experience it. Now, if you've been trying to be authentic, something I'm noticing a lot in people is that when they try to be authentic, they do things externally to prove their authenticity, and that is not authenticity. So what this looks like is actually changing your physical appearance first to seem more authentic. It looks like going towards the actions and the steps and the things that will make you seem more authentic. All of those things could be perfectly good for you. All of those things could be the things that you're supposed to do. But if you're going to the external first to try to be authentic, instead of being authentic and allowing yourself to be naturally drawn to the things that are for you, you're switching it. You're doing the wrong order because you are still trying to prove a point of authenticity instead of allowing yourself to be authentic. When we try to prove a point of authenticity by changing something external first, What we're doing is we're actually still feeding the ego's shame. Because often we do these external things to prove to the world our identity. Proving is never authentic. The baseline of this proving can often actually be vanity. And that's a really harsh truth. But I'm saying this truth because you won't feel good if you're doing things for vanity's sake. To prove I have this personality type, I am this type of person, I dress this way, I do these things. Do those things. But be authentic first. Be authentic first. You will naturally be drawn, and you will no longer be trying to do those things to prove. You will be doing those things because they serve you. Proving will still deplete you. Doing the things that fill your own cup because you already are being authentic will fill you. Does this make sense? I hope this makes sense for you. You can change your look. You can do all these things, but don't do these things first to try to prove who you are. Nothing external makes somebody the way that they are. No haircut, no look, no thing that you do makes you who you are. It's who you're already being. Your authentic self could be highly carefree, could be someone who loves to explore and to adventure in this world. I say this because that's me. If that's who you are authentically, even if you walk around with the perfect look that doesn't resemble carefree at all, if you are being that version of you, you're being authentic. But if you have this personality type, but you are dressing carefree, you are dressing like you love adventure, you are dressing like you're spontaneous and you love to travel, like you're almost hippie, whatever. If you're dressing that way, but you're not being that, you're not being authentic. The gold is when you're being that and then you're drawn towards the things and the clothes and the haircuts and the blah, 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 whatever you're doing. You're drawn to it, so then you do it. Not for a reason to prove, not because you feel like you have to, but because you love it and you give yourself the permission now to do those things. That is gold. At the end of the day, whatever is authentic for you, whatever kind of personality that you have, whatever way you're supposed to live, you do not prove that to yourself more by changing anything outside of you. You only prove it to yourself by giving yourself permission to be it. Realize the only difficult part of letting that go, of who you were, of the person who's not serving you anymore, is giving yourself permission to say, I can do this now. Even if I was hurt in the past, even if I got shut down in the past, even if I was bullied in the past, even if I've gone through these traumas, I don't need to heal for years and years and years. I can actually give myself the permission now. Because despite what happened, that was then, but I can choose to allow myself to be myself now. Because no matter what anyone has ever said to you or says to you, you have the choice to absorb it and to take it as truth, or to give yourself the permission to be you and love you and not absorb what people said or say. You weren't designed to be somebody that you are not. If you feel called like you need any additional help with the things that I talk about in my videos, the things to do with inner healing and self-development, I do offer one-on-one coaching. You can book that in my calendar below if you are interested, if that's something that you think would help you, would serve you. Keep an eye out for my future videos. My intent is to help you guys as much as I can because that's authentic to me. That's what I know I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.